Good morning, children. Welcome back to the another online class of social science. I hope you all will be fine at your home. And children, this is the concluding video of first chapter of geography, that is resource and development. And today we will start the last topic of this chapter, that is soil as resources. And children, in this chapter you have in this topic you will learn about the different types of soils which found in our country, and you will able to identify the most important types of soils, and you will also come to know about the uses and characteristic of different types of soils. But before moving forward, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned in the previous class. So in previous class you have learned about the different uses of land resource. So land can be used for the following purposes, like for forest, barren and waste land. Some land put on non-agricultural uses. For example, it can be used for constructing the buildings, roads, factories. Third is other uncultivated land, where land is used as permanent pastures or as a grazing land, and where the trees can be grown like bamboos and groves, or trees which can be used as a fuel. And then cultivable waste land, where land is left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. Fourth is fallow lands. Current fallow means where the land is left without cultivation for 1 or less than 1 year, so that soil can regain its fertility. And second is other than current fallow, where land is left uncultivated for past 1 to 5 agricultural years. When the land is left uncultivated for 5 years, it means it is because of the shortage of the water, or it can be because of the water logging, where the quality of the soil degrades. Then fifth is net zone area. It means actual available land for cultivation or for growing of any crops. So if we'll take the data of 2008 and 9, we can see the general land use in India in the year 2008 and 9. So in 2008 and 9, 46.24% area was under forest, or it was covered by forest. Second, 22.78% was fallow other than current fallow, means this land was left uh, without cultivation between 1 to 5 years. And 8.61% used as a barren and unculturable waste land, means uh, this was the waste land. Fourth is 5.57% was the area under non-agricultural uses, means it can be used for construction of roads, buildings and other things. The next is 3.38% was the permanent pasture or the grazing land, and 1.1% was used to grow the groves and other trees like bamboo and trees for fuel. Next is 4.17% was the cultivable waste land. Next is 3.37% was net zone area, and 4 point means it was the actual land which used for the cultivation of crops like wheat, rice, tea, sugarcane, etc. And 4.76% was the current fallow, means this part of land was left uncultivated for 1 or less than 1 year, so that a soil can regain its fertility. So this was the land use pattern in our country. Then we have learned the degradation and conservation of land. Degradation means when there is a decrease in the quality of land by human and natural activity, it means the land is degraded, and there are many causes responsible for the degradation of the land. It can be deforestation, overgrazing, over irrigation, and mineral processing, water logging, etc. Then we have learned that what measures we can adopt to maintain the quality of land, and that can be afforestation, shelter belts, proper management of grazing land, and control of overgrazing, stabilization of sand dunes, and control of mining activities, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and waste after treatment. And these are relief, feature, topography of the land, parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation, and other forms of life like worms. Apart from these factors, there are some natural forces which are also responsible for the formation of soils, and these are weathering of rocks, wind, temperature, glaciers, climate, and running water. Chemical and organic changes which take place in the soil are equally important, and soil also consists of organic and inorganic material. Humus is an organic material. On the basis of the factors responsible for soil formation like physical and chemical properties, age, texture, color, the soil of India is classified into 6 categories, and these are alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soil, laterite soil, arid soil, and forest soil. Now children, one by one we will see the characteristics of these soils and where they found in our country. So let's begin with the alluvial soil. So alluvial soil is the most widely spread and important soil of India. As you have read in your previous class that the northern plain is formed by the alluvial soil, and this soil is formed due to the deposition of the sediments brought by the major 3 Himalayan rivers, and these are Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. And this type of soil uh, also extended towards the Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow channel, as you can see in this map, as well as it also found in the eastern coastal areas. It's not only found in the northern area, but it also found in the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri rivers. So as you have read in your previous classes that the northern part of our country is formed by the alluvial soil, or it is found in the northern area, but apart from this it also found in the deltas of these 4 rivers, which are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. The alluvial soil consists of varied proportion of sand, silt, and clay. And children, clay is responsible for the holding of water. If a soil will be rich in clay substance, it means it can hold the water for longer period. On the basis of its age, the alluvial soil is divided into 2 categories, the Khadar and Bhangar. The Khadar soil is a new or younger deposit of alluvium soil on the floodplains, and this soil renewed every year and is comparatively more fertile than the Bhangar soil, and it has more fine particles than the Bhangar soil. On the other hand, the Bhangar soil is old alluvial soil, and large part of northern plains are formed of Bhangar soil. The soil present a terrace-like feature, and The Bhangar soil has higher concentration of uh, conker nodules than the Khadar. So as you already know that alluvial soil as a whole are very fertile. Mostly these soils contain adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulses crops. And due to its high fertility, regions of alluvial soil are intensively cultivated and densely populated. So this was a brief description of the alluvial soil. Now we'll move forward to the next soil which found in India, that is soils are black in color and are also known as regur soil. As black soil is ideal for growing cotton, it is also known as cotton soil. But apart from cotton, tobacco, oil seeds, ragi, maize can be grown in cotton or black soil. The black soil is formed by the weathering of lava and cooling of lava after a volcanic eruption, and the soil in the Deccan Plateau consists of black basalt soil which is rich in humus and iron, which cover the plateau of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa and Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and it extends in the southeast direction along the Godavari and the Krishna valleys. This soil is well known for their capacity to hold moisture because it is made up of extremely fine uh, clay material, and that we have discussed in previous topic that clay is known to hold the moisture for the longer period. And apart from this, it is rich in soil nutrients such as calcium, carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime, but it poor in phosphoric contains. Because of this, it develops deep cracks during the hot weather, and this soil are sticky when wet and difficult to work on unless tilled immediately after the first shower or during the pre-monsoon period. So children, this was a brief description of the black soil. Now moving forward to the next soil, that is red and yellow soil. As it is clear with its name that it looks like yellow and red in color. Now you must be thinking why it looks yellow and red in color. So children, it is because it is formed by the igneous rock, and red color is due to the presence of iron in the crystalline igneous rock, and it is found in the areas of low rainfall. So why it has two different color, red and yellow, if it is formed by the crystalline igneous rock? So the area where igneous rock receive less rainfall, it looks red in color, and where the igneous rock receive comparatively more rainfall, there it looks yellow in color. It is because this soil developed a color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. And red and yellow soils are found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain, and it also found in the western Ghats. Now, children, let's move forward to the next soil, that is Laterite soil is rich in iron and aluminium, and it found in the areas of high temperature and heavy rainfall. The humus content is very low in this soil. This soil is found in the hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and parts of West Bengal and northeast regions. So this was a brief description of laterite soil. Moving forward to the next soil, that is arid soil. Range from red to brown in color. It is generally sandy in texture and saline in nature. It found in the areas of dry climate, high temperature, where evaporation is faster, so it lacks humus and moisture. In the lower horizon of the soil, it occupied by conker because of the increasing calcium content downward. Arid soil mainly found in parts of western Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab, and it extends up to Rann of Kutch in Gujarat. Moving forward to the next soil, that is forest soil, and these soil are found in the hilly and the mountainous areas where sufficient rainforest are available. The texture of the soil, the color, the characteristic of the soil changes uh, with mountainous environment and altitude. The soil are rich in humus but are deficient in potash, phosphorus, and lime. And forest soil are especially suitable for plantation of tea, coffee, and tropical fruits. Not only this, the soil is loamy and silty in valley side and coarse grained in the upper slopes. It is acidic with low humus content in the snow covered areas. It is fertile in the lower parts of the valleys, and it found in the extreme northern part of the country and in some part of the northeast states. Move forward to the next topic, that is soil erosion and conservation. And children, it is one of the important topic of this chapter because many times the question has been asked from this topic, soil erosion and conservation. And basically three type of questions will be asked from this topic. First, where you will be asked the definition of this soil erosion, then causes responsible for the soil erosion, and third, method to conserve the soil. So let's start. First we will see the meaning of soil erosion. What is soil erosion? So soil erosion is the washing or blowing away of the top layer of soil. And what is top layer? The top soil is the top layer of the soil where we grow the crops, and this top layer is most fertile. There are two factors responsible for the soil erosion. First, human factor, in which comes the deforestation. The cutting down of the trees on the large scale is one of the reason of the soil erosion. Second, construction. For constructing the building, again the forest has been cleared down. Third, overgrazing. When the cattle overgraze the field, the soil become loose and it washed away or blow away with the wind and running water. Then mining activities are also responsible for the soil erosion. So these are some of the human factors which responsible for the soil erosion. Apart from the human factors, some natural forces are also responsible for the soil erosion, in which comes the wind and running water. Not only this, but some defective methods of agriculture are also responsible for soil erosion, and much of the soil erosion in India is caused by faulty methods of agriculture. For example, wrong plowing. Plowing up and down the slopes from channels is responsible for soil erosion. Second, lack of crop rotation, where the farmers do not rotate the crop. Because of this, soil start losing the fertility. When one crop is grown again and again on the same field, the soil start losing the fertility. And third, practice of shifting cultivation. About shifting cultivation already we have discussed in the previous topic. So these are some of the factors which are responsible for soil erosion. And now children, what methods we can adopt to conserve the soil? And these are contour farming and it is a practice of farming in which plowing is done across a slope following its elevation contour lines. As you can see in these pictures that the grasses and bushes are grown in the slopy area or in an elevated area, which controls the soil erosion by water and wind. And this type of contour farming is practiced in Assam and Meghalaya. And second is strip cropping, and in this strip cropping different crops are grown on the same field in different strips or patches, usually alternatively. As you can see again in this picture that two different type of crops are grown on the same field, which again control the soil erosion by wind and water. Next is terrace farming, and basically terrace farming carried out on the slopes of the mountains, and where the terrace are built on the slopes of the mountains to create flat lands to grow the crops, and it is useful as it slows down the speed of water running down the mountains. And basically this type of farming you can see in the part of Uttarakhand, Himalayas. And next is shelter belt. Shelter belts is a barrier of trees and shrubs that provides protection from winds and storms. As you can see in this picture, here the crops are grown, then there is a barrier of the trees which check the soil erosion by wind. Apart from all these methods, afforestation can be done, as we all know that the roots of the trees bind the soil and it control the washing and blowing away of soil by wind and water. And children, with this our chapter is over. I hope you have understood the chapter, and with this you will get a assignment, and these question answer again you have to do in the copy where you have done the previous work. And so till the next class, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. Thank you class.